Exodus 39. The Holy Clothes. The children of Israel were making clothes for the tabernacle. In this passage, we will see the amazing craftsmanship, the beautiful materials, and the deep symbolism woven into these garments and accessories that were used in the worship of God. We will see God's heart for beauty and order in worship. But most importantly, we see how these clothes pointed forward to Jesus, our great high priest. Let's dive right in. From the violet, purple, and bright red yarn, they made special clothes worn for official duties in the holy place. They also made the holy clothes for Aaron. They followed the Lord's instructions too. Moses, these are the instructions given to Bezalel and Aholiab and all the skilled craftsmen. And they did everything the Lord had told Moses. They made the ephod out of fine linen yarn and gold, violet, purple, and bright red yarn. They hammered the gold into thin sheets and cut them up. They twisted the gold into threads, which they creatively worked into each strand of the violet, purple, and bright red yarn, and throughout the fine linen. They made 2 shoulder straps attached at the top corners so that the ephod could be fastened. They made the belt that is attached to the ephod out of the same fabric. They followed the Lord's instructions to Moses. They mounted the onyx stones in gold settings and engraved on them the names of the sons of Israel. Then they fastened them on the shoulder straps of the ephod as a reminder of who the Israelites are. They followed the Lord's instructions to Moses. They made the breastplate as creatively as they made the ephod. It was made out of gold, violet, purple, and bright red yarn and a fine linen yarn. It was folded in half and was 9 inches square. They fastened 4 rows of precious stones on it. In the first row, they put red quartz, topaz, and emerald. In the second row, they put turquoise, sapphire, and crystal. In the third row, they put jacinth, agate, and amethyst. In the fourth row, they put beryl, onyx, and gray quartz. The stones were mounted in gold settings. They corresponded to the 12 sons of Israel by name, each stone engraved like a signet ring with the name of one of the 12 tribes. For the breastplate, they made chains out of pure gold twisted like ropes. They made 2 gold settings and 2 gold rings, and attached the 2 rings to the top corners of the breastplate. They fastened the 2 gold ropes to the rings at the top corners of the breastplate. They fastened the other ends of the ropes to the 2 settings on the shoulder straps of the ephod, so that the breastplate hung in front of it. They made 2 gold rings and fastened them to the other 2 corners of the breastplate on the inside edge next to the ephod. They made 2 more gold rings and fastened them to the bottom of the shoulder straps on the front of the ephod. This was close to the seam just above the belt of the ephod. Then they fastened the breastplate by its rings to the rings of the ephod with a violet cord. The breastplate was attached just above the belt of the ephod and was held in place. They followed the Lord's instructions to Moses. They made the robe that is worn with the ephod, woven entirely of violet yarn. The opening in the center of the robe had a finished edge like a leather collar all around it to keep it from tearing. On the hem of the robe, they made pomegranates of violet, purple, and bright red yarn and fine yarn. They made bells out of pure gold and fastened them in between the pomegranates all around the hem of the robe. A gold bell alternated with a pomegranate all around the hem of the robe that is worn by Aaron when he serves as priest. They followed the Lord's instructions to Moses. So all the work on the inner tent, the tent of meeting, was now done. The Israelites followed all the Lord's instructions to Moses. Then they brought everything to Moses: the inner tent, the outer tent, and all its furnishings: fasteners, frames, crossbars, posts, sockets, the cover made of ram skins dyed red, and the cover made of fine leather, the canopy over the ark. The ark containing the words of God's promise with its poles, and the throne of mercy, the table with all the dishes, the bread of the presence, the pure gold lampstand, with its lamps in a row, and all its utensils, the olive oil for the lamps, the gold altar, the anointing oil, the sweet-smelling incense, the screen for the entrance to the tent, the bronze altar with its bronze grate, its poles and all its accessories, the basin with its stand, the curtains for the courtyard, the posts, bases, and screen for the entrance to the courtyard, the ropes and pegs, all the equipment needed for the service of the inner tent, the tent of meeting, the special clothes worn when serving as priests in the holy place, both the holy clothes for the priest Aaron and the clothes for his sons when serving as priests. The Israelites had done all the work following the Lord's instructions to Moses. Moses inspected all the work and saw that they had followed the Lord's instructions. so Moses blessed them. Key teachings. Priestly garments symbolize holiness and representation. Aaron bore the names of the tribes before God, pointing to Christ, our high priest, who intercedes for us, Hebrews 7:25. Unity of God's people. The 12 stones remind us that God's people are precious and united in His presence. Holiness in service. The plate inscribed "Holy to the Lord" emphasizes that those who serve God must be set apart for Him. Beauty and order in worship. The garments were made for glory and beauty, showing that worship of God should reflect reverence, excellence, and honor. The sound of the bells shows intercession. The bells on the robe reminded the people of the priest's service, symbolizing Christ's continual intercession for us. Obedience brings blessing. The work was done exactly as God commanded. And Moses blessed the people, teaching that obedience leads to God's approval. God equips His people for service. Skilled craftsmen, materials, and dedication all came from God's provision. It's reminding us He supplies what is needed for His work. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe if you haven't yet. Leave a comment about your favorite part, and we'll catch you next time for Bible in a Year.